Crisis on Infinite Earths is a landmark DC Comics event that reshaped the entire DC universe. Written by Marv Wolfman and illustrated by George Perez, the 12-issue limited series was published from April 1985 to March 1986. The story centers on the multiverse, a concept where countless parallel Earths exist, each with its own version of heroes, villains, and histories. The primary antagonist is the Anti-Monitor, a being of immense power who seeks to destroy all positive matter universes, leaving only antimatter realms under his control. To combat this threat, heroes and villains from across the multiverse unite, including iconic characters like Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, and the Flash, as well as lesser-known figures from various Earths. The narrative begins with the destruction of several parallel Earths, as the Anti-Monitor's wave of antimatter consumes them. The Monitor, a benevolent counterpart to the Anti-Monitor, assembles a team of heroes to fight this existential threat. Key moments include the death of the Flash, Barry Allen, who sacrifices himself to save the multiverse, and the heroic stand of Supergirl, Kara Zor-El, who perishes in battle against the Anti-Monitor. These deaths highlight the high stakes and emotional weight of the crisis. The story also introduces Harbinger, the Monitor's assistant, who plays a crucial role in gathering and guiding the heroes. As the crisis escalates, the heroes discover that the only way to stop the Anti-Monitor is to collapse the multiverse into a single, unified reality. This leads to the merging of Earth 1, Earth 2, and other surviving Earths into one cohesive universe. The final battle takes place at the dawn of time, where the Spectre, a cosmic entity, aids the heroes in defeating the Anti-Monitor. The series concludes with the creation of a new, streamlined DC universe, erasing the complex multiverse and simplifying continuity for future stories. This event marked the end of the Silver and Bronze Ages of comics and ushered in the modern age, influencing countless stories that followed. The impact of Crisis on Infinite Earths is profound, as it not only resolved long-standing continuity issues, but also allowed DC to reboot its characters and settings. For example, characters like Superman and Wonder Woman were given updated origins, while others, such as the Justice Society of America, were temporarily retired. The event also set a precedent for future crossover events in comics, both within DC and across the industry. Its legacy endures, as later stories such as Infinite Crisis 2005 to 2006 and Dark Knight's Metal 2017-2018 revisit and expand upon its themes and consequences. The series remains a cornerstone of DC Comics history, celebrated for its ambitious scope and lasting influence on the medium. Infinite Crisis is a major DC Comics event published as a 7-issue limited series from December 2005 to June 2006, written by Jeff Johns and illustrated by Phil Jimenez. Serving as a sequel to the 1985 to 1986 event Crisis on Infinite Earths, it explores the consequences of merging the multiverse into a single universe and the moral decay of the DC Universe's heroes. The story begins with the return of Earth 2's Superman, Alexander Luthor, son of Lex Luthor and Superboy Prime, who had been trapped in a paradise dimension since the original Crisis. Disillusioned with the current state of the world, they seek to restore the multiverse, believing it to be a better, purer reality. The central conflict arises from the growing divide between heroes, particularly Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman, whose ideals and methods have become increasingly strained. Batman's distrust, Superman's perceived detachment, and Wonder Woman's willingness to kill Maxwell Lord in Wonder Woman number 219, 2005, highlight the fractures within the superhero community. These tensions are exploited by Alexander Luthor, who manipulates events to pit heroes against each other while constructing a tower designed to recreate the multiverse. Superboy Prime, driven by nostalgia for a simpler time, becomes a destructive force, attacking heroes and causing widespread chaos. Key moments include the death of Ted Kord, the Blue Beetle, who uncovers Alexander Luthor's plans, but is killed before he can warn others. This event galvanizes heroes to unite against the growing threat. The climax involves a massive battle in Metropolis, where Superboy Prime wreaks havoc, and Alexander Luthor's tower is destroyed. The story concludes with the restoration of a new multiverse, though not in the form Alexander Luthor intended. The event also sees the return of the original Flash, Barry Allen, who had been presumed dead since Crisis on Infinite Earths. The aftermath of Infinite Crisis significantly impacts the DC Universe. It leads to the 1 year later time jump, where characters and storylines are reimagined with a fresh perspective. The event also sets the stage for future storylines, such as 52, 2006 to 2007, and Final Crisis, 2008 to 2009, further exploring the complexities of the multiverse and the evolving nature of heroism. Infinite Crisis serves as a critical examination of the superhero genre, blending action with deeper thematic elements. Its influence continues to shape DC Comics, making it a pivotal moment in the publisher's history. Final Crisis is a pivotal DC Comics event written by Grant Morrison, with art by J.G. Jones, Doug Mahnke, and others, published as a 7-issue limited series from July 2008 to March 2009. The story centers on the ultimate battle between good and evil, as Darkseid, the tyrannical ruler of Apokolips, orchestrates a plan to enslave all of reality using the anti-life equation, a formula that eliminates free will. The narrative is complex, blending metaphysical concepts with superhero action, and serves as a culmination of themes introduced in earlier DC events like Crisis on Infinite Earths and Infinite Crisis. The event begins with the murder of Orion, Darkseid's son, which triggers a chain of events leading to Darkseid's descent to Earth. Using human avatars, Darkseid and his followers infiltrate society, spreading the anti-life equation and plunging the world into chaos. Heroes like Batman, Superman, and the Flash are thrust into a desperate struggle to stop Darkseid's conquest. A key moment occurs when Batman confronts Darkseid and fires a radion bullet, a weapon lethal to new gods, but is seemingly killed in the process. This act of defiance becomes a turning point in the resistance against Darkseid's tyranny. As the crisis deepens, the fabric of reality begins to unravel, with time and space collapsing due to Darkseid's influence. The Flash, Wally West, plays a crucial role by using his speed to outrun the anti-life equation and inspire hope in others. Meanwhile, Superman is sent on a cosmic journey to retrieve the essence of the original new gods, who had been displaced by Darkseid's actions. The story reaches its climax when Darkseid's physical form is destroyed, but his essence lingers, threatening to drag all of existence into a black hole of despair. The resolution involves Superman using a cosmic artifact called the Miracle Machine to rewrite reality, restoring hope and free will. Batman, believed dead, is revealed to have been sent back in time, setting up future storylines. Final Crisis concludes with the defeat of Darkseid and the preservation of the multiverse, but at a great cost. The event is notable for its philosophical depth, exploring themes of hope, despair, and the resilience of the human spirit. It also introduces new concepts, such as the multiverse's map and the idea of story as a fundamental force in the DC universe. Final Crisis has a lasting impact on DC Comics, influencing subsequent stories like the Multiversity 2014-2015 and Dark Knight's Metal 2017-2018. Its intricate narrative and ambitious scope make it a defining moment in DC's history, blending high-stakes action with profound thematic exploration. The event remains a cornerstone of Grant Morrison's work and a testament to the enduring complexity of the DC universe. Identity Crisis is a DC Comics event written by Brad Meltzer with art by Rags Morales, published as a 7-issue limited series from June 2004 to December 2004. The story focuses on the personal lives of superheroes, exploring themes of privacy, morality, and the consequences of past actions. It begins with the murder of Sue Dibney, the wife of the elongated man, Ralph Dibney, which shocks the superhero community and sets off a chain of events that reveal dark secrets. The investigation into her death uncovers a pattern of attacks targeting the loved ones of heroes, leading to widespread paranoia and mistrust among the Justice League. As the mystery unfolds, it is revealed that Sue's murder is connected to a series of mind wipes performed by a group of League members, including Zatanna, Green Arrow, Hawkman, and the Atom. These mind wipes were used to erase the memories of villains and, in one controversial instance, the memories of Batman, who had discovered their actions. The mind wipes were initially intended to protect the identities of heroes and their families, but the ethical implications of such actions come to light, causing tension and division within the superhero community. The story raises questions about the limits of power and the moral compromises made in the name of justice. The central antagonist is ultimately revealed to be Jean Loring, the ex-wife of Ray Palmer, the Atom, who had become mentally unstable. Using Ray's technology, she orchestrated the attacks in a misguided attempt to regain his attention. Her actions lead to tragic consequences, including the death of Firestorm, Ronnie Raymond, and the severe injury of the Atom's girlfriend, Jean's rival. The story concludes with Jean being committed to Arkham Asylum, but the fallout from the events leaves lasting scars on the heroes involved. The Justice League's unity is fractured, and trust among its members is deeply eroded. Identity Crisis is notable for its focus on the human side of superheroes, delving into their vulnerabilities and the personal costs of their double lives. It also addresses the ethical dilemmas of using powers to manipulate minds, a theme that resonates throughout the DC universe. The event has a significant impact on subsequent storylines, influencing character dynamics and setting the stage for future conflicts, such as those seen in Infinite Crisis 2005 to 2006. By blending a murder mystery with deeper philosophical questions, Identity Crisis remains a defining moment in DC Comics, offering a grounded and emotionally charged exploration of its characters. Dark Knight's Metal is a DC Comics event written by Scott Snyder with art by Greg Capullo, published as a 6-issue series from August 2017 to March 2018. The story explores the concept of the Dark Multiverse, a twisted reflection of the main DC multiverse where nightmares become reality. The event begins with Batman's discovery of a mysterious metal called nth metal, which leads him to uncover a larger threat involving Barbatos, a dark god who seeks to invade the main multiverse. Barbatos is revealed to be an ancient entity tied to the Batman mythos, and his plan involves using the Dark Multiverse to overwhelm and destroy the positive matter universes. The narrative centers on the Justice League's efforts to stop Barbatos and his army of Dark Knights, alternate versions of Batman from the Dark Multiverse. These Dark Knights are twisted reflections of Batman, each representing a different fear or failure, such as the Batman who laughs, a fusion of Batman and the Joker. As the heroes battle these nightmarish versions of Batman, they learn that the Dark Multiverse is fueled by fear and despair, and its existence threatens to consume all of reality. The story also introduces the concept of the Source Wall, a cosmic barrier that separates the multiverse from the unknown realms beyond, which plays a key role in the conflict. Key moments include the Justice League's journey through the Dark Multiverse, where they confront their own fears and failures. Batman is captured by Barbatos and used as a conduit to breach the Source Wall, while Superman, Wonder Woman, and other heroes rally to stop the invasion. The climax involves the heroes harnessing the power of the nth metal and the forces of the multiverse to fight back against Barbatos and the Dark Knights. The story concludes with the defeat of Barbatos and the sealing of the Dark Multiverse, but not without consequences, as the Source Wall is damaged, unleashing new threats. The event has significant implications for the DC Universe, introducing new concepts like the Dark Multiverse and the Batman who laughs, who becomes a recurring antagonist in later stories. It also sets the stage for future events such as Justice League No Justice 2018 and Year of the Villain 2019, which explore the fallout from the Source Wall's destruction. Dark Knight's Metal is celebrated for its high-energy storytelling, intricate world-building, and bold reinvention of DC's cosmic mythology. By blending superhero action with dark, fantastical elements, the event stands as a defining chapter in DC Comics, expanding the scope of its multiverse and challenging its heroes in unprecedented ways. Blackest Night is a DC Comics event written by Jeff Johns with art by Ivan Rice, published as an 8-issue series from July 2009 to March 2010. The story revolves around the Black Lantern Corps, an army of reanimated dead beings powered by black power rings, which seek to eradicate all life and emotion in the universe. The event is the culmination of Johns' work on the Green Lantern mythos, building on the emotional spectrum introduced in earlier stories. The emotional spectrum consists of various colored Lantern Corps, each representing a different emotion, such as green for willpower, red for rage, and blue for hope. The Black Lanterns, however, represent death and are driven by the absence of emotion. The narrative begins with the rise of the Black Lantern Corps, led by Nekron, a primordial entity of death. Nekron's goal is to extinguish all life and bring the universe into eternal darkness. The Black Lanterns reanimate deceased heroes and villains, including characters like Martian Manhunter, Aquaman, and the original Firestorm, using them as soldiers in their war against the living. The living heroes, including Hal Jordan, Green Lantern, Barry Allen, The Flash, and the Justice League, must unite to combat this overwhelming threat. The story explores themes of loss, grief, and the resilience of life in the face of death. A key element of the conflict is the emotional spectrum, as the heroes discover that the Black Lanterns can only be defeated by combining the powers of all the Lantern Corps. This leads to the creation of the White Lantern, a being of life and rebirth, which becomes central to the battle against Nekron. The climax involves Hal Jordan and Barry Allen confronting Nekron with the help of the resurrected heroes and the combined forces of the emotional spectrum. The story concludes with the defeat of Nekron and the restoration of life, but not without significant consequences, as the event reshapes the DC universe and sets the stage for future storylines. Blackest Night is notable for its exploration of the emotional spectrum and its impact on the Green Lantern mythos. It also features the return of several deceased characters, adding emotional weight to the narrative. The event has lasting effects on the DC universe, influencing subsequent stories like Brightest Day, 2010 to 2011, and War of the Green Lanterns, 2011. By blending cosmic action with deep emotional themes, Blackest Night stands as a defining moment in DC Comics, offering a compelling and impactful exploration of life, death, and the power of emotion. Flashpoint is a DC Comics event written by Jeff Johns with art by Andy Kubert, published as a 5-issue series from May to August 2011. The story centers on Barry Allen, the Flash, who wakes up in an alternate timeline where the world is drastically different. In this reality, Barry has no powers, his mother is alive, and the Justice League never formed. The world is on the brink of collapse due to a war between Wonder Woman's Amazons and Aquaman's Atlanteans, which has devastated entire continents and threatens global annihilation. time. Barry must regain his powers and restore the timeline, but doing so comes with significant consequences. The event begins with Barry discovering that his actions in the past, specifically his attempt to save his mother from being murdered, have created this fractured reality. Key differences include Bruce Wayne being killed as a child, leading his father, Thomas Wayne, to become a ruthless version of Batman, and Superman being held captive by the government since childhood, never becoming the hero he was meant to be. Barry teams up with Thomas Wayne's Batman and a group of resistance fighters, including Cyborg, to stop the war and find a way to fix the timeline. The story explores themes of loss, responsibility, and the unintended consequences of altering history. A pivotal moment occurs when Barry regains his powers and attempts to recreate the accident that originally gave him his speed. With the help of Thomas Wayne's Batman, he succeeds, but the process is fraught with danger. The climax involves Barry confronting Reverse Flash, Eobard Thawne, who reveals that he manipulated events to create this timeline as a way to punish Barry. The story concludes with Barry using his restored powers to reset the timeline, but not before Thomas Wayne gives him a letter to deliver to Bruce in the restored reality, adding an emotional layer to the resolution. Flashpoint has far-reaching implications for the DC universe, as the restoration of the timeline leads to the creation of the New 52, a company-wide reboot that reimagined DC's characters and continuity. The event is notable for its exploration of alternate realities and its impact on the broader DC mythos. By blending personal stakes with large-scale consequences, Flashpoint serves as a pivotal moment in DC Comics, reshaping its universe and setting the stage for new storytelling opportunities. The event remains a defining chapter in the Flash's history and a testament to the enduring appeal of time travel narratives in superhero comics. 0 Hour, Crisis in Time is a DC Comics event published as a 5-issue limited series from September to October 1994, written by Dan Jurgens, with art by Jurgens and Jerry Ordway. The story addresses growing continuity issues within the DC universe, particularly those stemming from the 1985 event Crisis on Infinite Earths. The central conflict revolves around the collapse of time itself, as temporal anomalies and paradoxes cause the past, present, and future to unravel. The event introduces Extant, a time-traveling villain, and a younger version of Hal Jordan, known as Parallax, who seeks to remake the universe after the destruction of his home city, Coast City. The narrative begins with heroes and villains across the DC universe noticing strange temporal disturbances, such as characters aging rapidly or disappearing entirely. These anomalies are caused by Extant, who manipulates time to destabilize reality. Meanwhile, Hal Jordan, driven by grief and rage, becomes Parallax and decides to use his newfound power to rewrite history, believing he can create a better world. His actions exacerbate the crisis, leading to a countdown toward 0 Hour, the moment when time will cease to exist. Heroes like Superman, Batman, and the Justice League must unite to stop both Extant and Parallax before the universe collapses. Key moments include the formation of a coalition of heroes from different eras, including the Legion of Superheroes from the future and the Justice Society from the past. The climax involves a battle at the Vanishing Point, the end of time, where the heroes confront Parallax and Extant. The story concludes with the defeat of both villains and the restoration of time, but not without significant changes to the DC universe. Parallax's actions result in the erasure of certain characters and events, streamlining continuity and resolving lingering inconsistencies from previous stories. 0 Hour is notable for its focus on time travel and its impact on DC's continuity. It serves as a follow-up to Crisis on Infinite Earths, addressing unresolved issues and setting the stage for future storytelling. The event also marks a turning point for Hal Jordan, whose transformation into Parallax becomes a defining aspect of his character. By blending high-stakes action with complex temporal mechanics, 0 Hour stands as a significant chapter in DC Comics, offering a fresh start while honoring its rich history. The event's influence is felt in subsequent stories, making it a crucial moment in the evolution of the DC universe.